Well guys, we might not have a new trailer or any gameplay for Pokemon Legends ZA, but today we actually got some tidbits of brand new information from a name that I haven't heard in a very long time, and that's Koro. If you've been following Pokemon news for a very long time, you're probably familiar with Koro, which is a Japanese magazine which I'm sure has still been going on, but it's kind of stopped giving us like big Pokemon news as they've kind of mainly been moving towards having like Pokemon Presents and just announcing news drops on their Twitter and stuff. But for the longest time, brand new Pokemon information would actually come out in the Koro Japanese magazine, and then people would get leaks of them and start taking pictures of them and posting them online. And this was like a huge deal back in the day, especially with Pokemon X and Y and like Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, even Pokemon Sun and Moon. It was really after like Pokemon Sword and Shield where this kind of stopped, but Koro, there were so many like even fake leaks that people would come up with to try to like fake images in the magazine, but this is kind of how we got information, and we would see like brand new images of like Mega Evolutions and brand new Gen 6 and Gen 7 Pokemon before we got the trailer. So this was a huge deal back in the day, and I mean Pokemon Sun and Moon was really like the last kind of games that did it, and I did cover like the Koro leaks for that when I still did kind of make YouTube videos, but that was a very long time ago, and back then my channel was very small. I had like 300 or 400 subs, so not anyone really ever even watched those videos. So it's kind of crazy that we're getting Koro information now. It's really nostalgic and it takes me back to that era, and it's just so cool that we're getting that now with a game taking place in the Kalos region. Alright, so here we are on Twitter where we can see right here, we've got the tweet saying, this month's Koro magazine featured a 2-page article on the upcoming Game Freak title, Pokemon Legends ZA. And we've got images here of what it looks like, nothing really crazy new, it's just mostly images from the actual teaser that we got to see back in February, but it is cool to see this being represented inside of the magazine, and there are some little tidbits of new information that people were able to translate, and that's what I'm going to be talking to you guys about here, but I just wanted to show you guys what the actual magazine looks like. So we can see right here, here is the logo, some pictures from the actual teaser trailer itself. At the very top, it does say 2025. Something that people did notice is that in the corner here, it does say Nintendo Switch. It doesn't talk about the price though, and that has some people kind of speculating that maybe this could be coming out on the next gen Nintendo system as well. I know Game Freak typically doesn't really release brand new Pokemon games as soon as like a new Nintendo system comes out, but at the same time, maybe Nintendo could be kind of trying to get a brand new Pokemon game like alongside the launch of their next gen system, because that would be huge if like a brand new Pokemon game like this comes out with the next gen Nintendo system, and especially like if it's going to be available on the Switch 1 but also the Switch 2, and the Switch 2 version has like better frame rate, better graphics and stuff. A lot of people may consider just picking up the new system to get the best Pokemon experience, so it could be really cool if they decide to go that route. And then we can see the other page right here too, where it's talking a little bit here about Mega Evolution. We've got pictures of Mega Garchomp and Mega Salamence, even pictures of the legendaries. We've got Xerneas and Yveltal here, as well as Zygarde. So it's cool to see that we have all the legendaries here as well, and talking about them coming from Pokemon X and Y. Right, but now in terms of the actual translated information, which is kind of interesting, we can take a look right here and kind of think about what this could possibly mean, as we don't have any type of concrete information, but this is kind of little tidbits of information that does get you kind of thinking. So it says right here from the translation by Razenburst, I guess, on Discord, who says here, a couple points of interest. The first thing here is that it says Koro once again reiterates that this is a new Lumiose city, different from the previous one from X and Y. Now, of course, this means that it's some different type of Lumiose city, but it can be represented in so many different ways. Like you can think about this in a lot of different ways, where it doesn't really confirm for a fact if this means like this game is going to take place in the past, if it's going to be in the future. Like you could think of this as like it's a Lumiose city from the past because they're building Lumiose city, and that's why it's a new Lumiose city, because they're actually creating what we see in X and Y for the first time. You could say that this is a futuristic Lumiose city where they're trying to rebuild it or reconstruct it to kind of have like this urban redevelopment plan to make it like this futuristic city for Pokemon and people, and that's why it's also going to be different from the one with Pokemon X and Y. And I've also seen some people even say that this could be like an alternate universe Lumiose city where it's going to be separate from X and Y and it's going to be completely different, and that's why they can get even way more crazier with the story and just have stuff where it doesn't have to rely on making sense with what happens in Pokemon X and Y. So it's really up to you. Like we don't have any type of concrete confirmation yet for exactly what this could mean, so let me know what you guys think about what that could mean. Like how do you guys feel about it being a different Lumiose city from X and Y? What's your interpretation of it? I'd love to hear, so you can definitely let me know. But then it also says here, Korokoro points out that there is a bunch of wild Pokemon all throughout the city. And for me, this definitely kind of confirms that, yeah, this game really is going to be taking place in just the actual city. I know a lot of people were kind of a little bit disappointed about hearing that the entire game is probably just going to be inside of Lumiose City, where people were like, oh, this is going to be terrible. Like, you got to have like a lot of these wild areas and nature areas and stuff. You can't just have it all be in a city, but there's many games that you can have where it takes place in just a city and it's really, really good. I mean, think about stuff like GTA and Spider-Man. And I mean, I don't know what else, like Midgar and Final Fantasy VII. Like, there's a lot of cool things you can do with just having a city setting. And I feel like it's definitely possible, especially if they turn Lumiose City into something gigantic, where you're really going to be spending just hours and hours kind of going through different back alleys and exploring for wild Pokemon. Like, they could definitely make it into something really cool. So I'm not worried about it being a city at all. I feel like they can definitely do a lot of creative stuff with it. And I'm excited to kind of see them take this different approach for what they want to do with it. So I'm definitely going to let them cook and see what they're able to come up with. Here's where it gets a little bit interesting. It says here, Megas from X and Y and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire are returning. The lore of Mega Evolution will be explored again. So this is very interesting because this basically kind of confirms that every single Mega Evolution from Pokemon X and Y and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire is going to be coming back inside of Pokemon Legends ZA. Now, there are a few that I feel like are a little bit up in the air for I don't know if they're actually going to be in the game or not, and those are really kind of just the mythical ones and then also the legendary Pokemon. So I know Mewtwo had one, of course. It had two different Mega Evolutions with Mewtwo X and Mewtwo Y. Rayquaza has one with Mega Rayquaza, and then we've also got Diancie, which was the mythical Pokemon that also had a Mega Evolution. I don't know if those ones are going to be returning, but I'm sure like a lot of like the fan favorite ones that we just had, like Mega Alakazam, Mega Lucario, Mega Aggron, Tyranitar, Salamence, those ones I'm sure are going to be coming back. You won't have to worry about that, so that'll be really cool. I'm just very excited to have Mega Evolutions coming back. That is going to be so much fun. And then it also says here, Korokoro points out Zygarde's similarities to the game's logo. And of course, right away, when we look at the Pokemon Legends ZA logo, we can see that the Z has like the green color of Zygarde. And then it also has like the hexagon kind of pattern on it too. So we definitely know that Zygarde is going to be an important Pokemon inside of this game. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly how this Pokemon is going to connect to the story and what exactly it could be hiding and stuff. So I'm sure we're going to learn about that as well. So that is going to be cool to see also. And then it just says here, the adventure is set in Lumiose City, but we will be able to meet the legendaries of the Kalos region, or it's actually formed as a question. It says, but will we be able to meet the legendaries of the Kalos region? I'm assuming probably, like, I mean, if they're kind of saying it like this, I mean, even the logo itself has a little bit of red and blue on it, which is making people think it's going to have something to do with Xerneas and Yveltal, so I'm sure we're going to see them, but it's really going to be how they're going to make sense to having them be inside of the city, and I think that's going to be where it's going to get really interesting, so we're just going to have to see exactly how it's all going to make sense. But then it also says here, Korokoro says stay tuned for the next report next month. So I guess we're really just back to getting Korokoro leaks, as I guess next month there's going to be even more coverage now, and we're going to start to see Korokoro coverage coming with Pokemon Legends ZA, and that just makes me so excited. Like, I can't tell you guys like how excited this is making me. Like, it's so cool to the fact that I'm making videos on Korokoro leaks again, talking about this with you guys. It's just really nostalgic and it just feels really fun. So it's cool to be able to make videos like this where people are actually kind of watching them now, because my channel's actually grown since that time. So yeah, that's pretty much all the information that we have right now. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, definitely be sure to click that like button and also subscribe to the channel, as well as we're definitely gonna have some more videos talking about Pokemon Legends ZA as the information comes out. So definitely be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Comment down below, let me know what you guys think about all of this. How do you guys feel about these little tidbits of information about it being in a different Lumiose City, Megas coming back from X and Y and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and all of that? So definitely be sure to comment your thoughts down below and let me know how you feel. But if you don't have anything to say about this, just comment your favorite emoji down below for some engagement. I would really appreciate it. Go follow me on Twitter at @ActualArrows so you can be featured in videos, and also join my Discord server as well. We've got a bunch of people in there who are always talking about Pokemon and Smash Bros and Nintendo, so definitely be sure to join that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.